Welcome back, Patriots. This works. These are the kind of conversations I love out there. Starts out with this woman originally from South Korea, living in Switzerland, and well-traveled, worked a lot of places around the world. Been around the world, and then another gentleman comes up who's well-versed, also well-traveled, and then we have a veteran that pops in at the end who was stationed in South Korea, so he joins in on the conversation. This is what I love out there more than anything, of these kind of conversations. These kind of town square, general store, sitting around the apple barrel kind of conversations. This is where I learn things. This is where hopefully you learn things. Because again, speaking to the people that are actually there, well, it doesn't get any better than that. So if you like this, of course, you know what to do. Hit that like button and the subscribe button. Look, the censorship's getting off the rails. So, please resubscribe if you already are. And then spread the links of these videos around. Email them, tell your friends and associates or whatever to go ahead and check me out before they wind up taking us all off. And again, I have opened up a BitChute account, but I haven't put much over there. But if you want to go there just to see if you can view the one video I put up, then please do. And support me if you can all possibly do it by going to become a patron. You can do regular payments through PayPal account. I've got a few more new designs up at my shop. Go get yourself a couple of new t-shirts or cell phone cover, whatever. And if you can't do anything else for me, pray for me. That I really need. So I want to thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the streets. Do you still have family in South Korea?
Yeah, most of my family.
Most of your family?
Yeah.
It's interesting because, South Korea, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but from what I understand, it is one of the most productive countries.
South Korea work hard.
Yes, South Korea.
Yeah, they work hard.
Yeah, very hard. The people achieve
very fast.
A great deal.
Yeah, very fast.
Yes.
Yeah. But usually when you achieve very fast, and then you always have this, the opposite, the consequence, right?
Okay.
Become very capitalized very fast, and also by polarization, the rich people become very fast rich, and then the other become a bit poorer than before.
Is that what's happening there?
I think, overall, the whole world, I think it become like that. The whole world, right? Not only South Korea, but also U.S., the super rich become more richer than before, and poor people become more poorer.
Yeah, I think that
I think it's more capital, the kind of negative consequence.
Well, I think that I would call that corrupt capitalism.
Yeah, corrupt. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah. But I think South Korea now doing well, but we also have some problem with North Korea.
Well, no kidding. Yeah,
we have to solve this problem.
How is that situation been playing out since Trump went and talked to?
The thing, ironically, South Korea. We want to get along with North Korea, but not necessarily by achieving by become unification. But we still think unification is still very far. But still, we hope to have some peace. We hope to have a peace in Korean Peninsula. So very ironically, not like the former U.S. government, like Obama or the Bush presidency, compared to those time, we think the time in Trump is really good time to make Korean Peninsula become more peaceful, because he doesn't he doesn't behave like the typical politician.
Right.
He just do whatever he wants when it comes to meet his own benefit. He's basically a businessman, right? So that's why the way he plays is completely out of the normal, the political, game, right? So that's why, and then with some reason, with South Korea, we think Trump thinks that, the doing good for Korean Peninsula for like unification or get along together is really helpful for his second election. Or his own.
Of course, that would be. I mean, I think that goes without saying.
Yeah, so that's why in South Korea we think it's a really good time to make some progress in South Korean, both South and North Korea political situation. We want to solve it because, South Korea and also North, we are independent country, but somehow we always meet all the ally and also, this. In any way, none of the country in the world are totally independent from the U.S. I mean, that's reality, no matter what they like. I mean, even Europe as well. So we just cannot just say, we're gonna be friends with North Korea just right now because we have to somehow make everybody somehow agree with this. So I think, me personally, I was very surprised that, Trump got elected. I was super surprised.
I think a lot of
oh
people
my fucking God. But somehow, I agree some of his policy, especially like East, the policy against the Far East Asian country.
Right.
So against Japan or other country as well. So, but nevertheless, I think somehow many American citizens kind of suffer from his kind of stupidity, right? But the way he changed for tax regulation and also try to abolish the healthcare and so on, right? I think inside of US, there are a lot of the discussion about his policy.
I think that a lot of what you're speaking of too right now. Mm-hmm. Not so much because the health.
You for the Republican or the
Well, I'm for America.
For America, yeah.
Yeah, but in the sense like the tax relief that he gave, that helped the economy a great deal.
Mm-hmm. Did he's a policy about the tax?
Yeah, the taxes helped a great deal the businesses. Mm-hmm. It helped and the regular people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Regular people, like ordinary people, right?
Ordinary people got helped out.
Okay, yeah.
Healthcare, we need to redo the entire healthcare.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I heard that it's in the U.S. it's like healthcare. Not everybody has healthcare, and if you got sick.
Well, anybody can get healthcare in the United States. Anybody can get it. Believe me, you can go. You can go. There's plenty of places that give it away for free. There's, there's places you can go. We have the best healthcare. It's just that the healthcare industry here was, of course, when I was growing up as a young man, was close to being perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
But money influences came into it and started using it as a profit. They started instead of that's what really screwed it up. The insurance companies, right, start screwing that up.
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's gotten so big, money wise, that. The small people, the regular people are getting hurt, especially middle class.
I see.
Poor people can still get health care.
Okay.
You can walk into a hospital and get taken care of. That's why a lot of immigrants are coming over here, because they can get free health care.
Okay.
So they're getting taken care of. It's the middle class that are getting burned. The rich can always afford it.
Yeah. It's not their problem, right?
So that needs to be totally revamped.
Just kind of less into the conversation.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So, well, she's from South Korea originally and lives in Switzerland. So we're just speaking about
I live in Switzerland for 12 years.
Oh, excellent. It's a beautiful country.
Yeah, I think Switzerland is my third foreign country where I live. Initially I worked in Germany and also in the Norway, and then now I end up in Switzerland. So I would say Switzerland is near perfect compared to all other countries in the world. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Switzerland's near perfect.
near perfect country, like
Yeah, low crime and very homogeneous.
And a low,
Very,
low
very
population.
safe.
Yeah, low
Compared to America.
population too.
So that's just like Singapore. Singapore's near perfect.
I've been just traveled to Singapore, but Singapore is too hot, right?
Yeah.
The weather is not-
Yeah, that's true.
Where are you guys from?
I originally lived here in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, but we live in Nashville now.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And what do you do there?
I build data centers.
Data
data
centers?
center?
Yeah,
Are you attending also the conference for ICAR?
I'm not.
Ah, okay.
Not.
So I came here for this conference. So
What, the ICAR, what does that stand for?
this is an international conference for the learning representation. It's one of the machine learning.
Machine learning?
Yeah, machine learning and AI.
Yeah. So when it comes to machine learning and AI,
Yeah.
like my equipment, have you ever heard of Liebert in the past?
No, not
So big data center, like cooling units, and three-phase power. So power conditioning and battery backup for any machine, like any machine learning.
Oh, okay. You are more like the
Infrastructure.
infrastructure and system engineer.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
more computer science and
Yeah.
data science.
You see my AI.
AI, yeah, it's
Yeah. So what's great? That's pretty funny, but
Yeah, but it's pretty real too.
it
yeah, pretty,
could.
yeah.
Theoretically, it could.
Well, I've asked other. I mean, in fact, there was an economics professor from Harvard I asked out here one day. I said, "What is that going to do to our economy in the next 10 years?" And he says, "Well, about 50% of these people will be out of work."
Yeah, I think it's really coming.
So,
I think so.
The only flaw in that statement is it's going to put jobs as we know it, some jobs, out of work, but it's going to open up hundreds of thousands of other jobs that we don't even know exist.
Yeah, but
today.
how many people? Let's say, because a lot. I mean, when I asked them, I said, "Well, how many? These people are going to be out of work?" We're talking about basically, mid-level skill jobs. We're not talking, truck drivers and basically, forklift guys and stuff. I mean, people that do the robotics. AI technologies are going to take over doing the machinist type of guys, the nuts and bolts guys, guys that wouldn't necessarily go into learning higher
You're right.
technical
So what you're saying
positions.
is forklift drivers, truck drivers are all going to be out of work. But the flip side of that is that same type of individual can now learn how to service and to manage those pieces of equipment, can learn how to build new infrastructure that support that. So it's just a transition. In
Yeah,
what
but
these
how many of
individuals
them? Because we do have right now.
we don't have enough.
Well,
So-
well, right now we do have in China robots making robots.
Right,
So we got that going on.
But there's individuals that have to service all of these robots, and the individuals having to create the infrastructure and the technology for those robots. And there's going to be people that have to build the buildings that all these robots sit in, electricians, plumbers, HVAC techs. Because anytime there's
Yeah,
a
but
lot
even they will be taking over. Because the next
it won't
question
happen.
I asked that Princeton professor or Harvard professor will scare you, the answer he gave me.
they will never take over service work.
I asked him,
You can't.
the question I asked him was, and what are we going to do with all of these out of work people? And without missing a beat, he looked at me straight in the eye and coldly said, in the past, we've killed you.
I don't know about that, but
Well, if you look at, then I would go.
and we start talking about professors. I mean, I have my personal opinion. I went through college. I'm an educated guy, but I'm not a big fan of super liberal professors and their opinions. That's quite frankly, they're
And I would go
a lot of
there
it's wrong.
too,
Are you
but I would.
for the Republican?
I'm
by the
middle.
way?
middle.
But I
You
would.
vote all the time?
I vote. I tend to vote more conservatively due to I believe in a smaller government,
Okay.
and I
But
personally
U.S. is too big for smaller government.
say that again.
The United States is too big for having smaller government.
Well, no,
We're-
not
we're-
necessarily.
No, that's wrong.
They see the idea of breaking the states are the ones that are supposed
You mean want to more distribute the
Yeah, well, the states should have more power than the federal
okay.
government. That's how our original
okay.
founding
so what do you mean
fathers
by the smaller government?
wanted
like a smaller central government.
So that means they can't. Prime example, Venezuela. What's going on over there?
Yeah, it
that's a big.
crazy.
That's because the individuals that voted voted to have. They think that the government can run the country better than the people
other?
can. Just people can.
Yeah.
Right. So whether it's individual cities dictating, they just think, oh, I'd rather pay more, let the government give my weapons away. Let them make all the policy, and I believe they can do it better than me. And we know from many of countries that has failed, it does not work.
Yeah, it does not work. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll say this: the next country that's going to have the largest revolution is going to be the mainland China. The reason being is because a lot of the children.
One-party countries is so
they're
strange.
getting more of a middle class.
Well, it's not even that. They're getting educated. That
Yes.
when they go out of China to get an education, then they realize the power of being able to go find information yourself. No sensory on the internet. When they go back home, they're like, that's not true. This isn't true. That's not right. And they're going to end up in some time revolting. And it could stay a one-party government, but you're going to see a lot smaller. They're not going to have control. They're not going to own all the businesses. It's just going to happen.
Now, I mean, you can help me with this answer too, because culturally, when we speak about Asian countries, especially China, I believe, they have a long history of dealing with dynasties. In other words, they're used to central rule. They're used to, it's like so ingrained into their psyche of having that, central authoritarian.
But if you go back to like 1,000 years or 20,000 years, 2,000 years, China also like the collection of many different dynasties.
Yes.
Dynasties.
Yes, dynasties.
They're
Yes.
small countries, and then they always fight each other and the war and everything. So now it's more or less like one single dictator. But this is kind of unusual for their long. If you see this with the whole their history, there used to be a very smaller size of many countries.
I don't think in any time soon that they're going to get away from, because you're saying they're used to a centralized power, the centralized authoritative government. What I am expressing is I am very confident in the new generation changing the mindset for future generations. Understanding, look, guys, there's a lot of power in us knowing what's going on in the world. There's a lot of power to understand the pros and cons of a communist country. So, like, on paper, communism is great, but in actuality, it doesn't work.
I think current, Chinese government, I think they are aware of this, so they know what their like a younger generation, the law and everything. So that's why I think they spend a lot of money in AI to the surveillance.
Yes,
control. The people. I think that's why they are really doing a lot of work to make even more to enforce their current system. I think I somehow
it's going to change.
I hope it changes. I mean,
because you can't even, and I'll say this in North Korea, the way that Kim Jong-un, keeps everyone. We're going to use the word brainwash because that's what it is. It's not true what he teaches. At some point, as people flee to South Korea and then branch out, and then they branch out and get educated, and then they call back and they're out of the country, so they don't care. They can talk and be like, hey, inform the people. So it takes time, but North Korean will revolt. Kim Jong-un and his.
That's one of the scenarios.
It will fall. That will. The people will rise in that country. And you know what? The South Koreans are going to help them.
South Korea, we also aware of this, and also we know that the North Korean, regime, Kim Jong-un, aware of. He's not total idiot. He educated in Switzerland.
He's aware of it, but his people are not aware of it.
The whole military. But in the end, that's why South Korea also worry about
Those are cool.
They just collapse because we have to take care of this one. So that's why before these things happen, we want to make a peace. want to be friends, or I don't think it would be really super easy to just be unified in one day. But somehow we just want to diminish the whole, how to say, the
Barrier.
bad things,
Yeah.
just barrier, to collapse one day. So yes, but again, it's not really easy thing.
But and this is what so my wife's parents lived in Singapore. We traveled all over the Southeast Pacific. And one thing I'll tell anyone is when I was in Honduras 2 weeks ago.
Honduras, you were in Honduras?
Yeah, Honduras.
Oh, but
yeah.
I heard it's really super dangerous.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. But when the government is as corrupt as it is there, they're still a democracy just like here, but it's so corrupt it might as well be communism. But what I explained to them, I said, every country hates America because of certain things, right? We're not perfect. We've done horrible things. But one thing you can't say is when we had enough of our government, we stood up to it and we fixed it. I said, at some point, the people of Venezuela, the people of anywhere, will rise up when you get tired of it. It may take another 1,000 years or 10,000 years. But when the people get tired, it will change.
So you believe the people's
I think that
French Revolution kind of.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
Of course.
you can't tax, and you can't have such a corrupt environment where people can't succeed, and there's the super rich and the super poor. It can't happen. You have to have middle class drives any country. If you can't build middle class, you can't. I mean, it just won't work. And on the left side of the spectrum, they are very, very pro. Let's live in the past. All the bad things that happened that we did here and still happens outside of our country. And they think taxes is the way to solve, and it's not. In my opinion, I don't know. I don't know.
You're right on.
The extreme right, and you are.
No, I'm not on the
left.
extreme right at all. I mean, again, I'm from America, but But getting back to, I think Korea is a good example. Between the economies. I mean, it's North and South Korea, total opposites in what we're talking about here. And I think when you're talking about the assimilation of the two, having them come together all at once is going to be such a culture clash, as it were.
But still, in the end, we speak the same language.
Yes.
And also,
Yes.
the sentiment from South Korean against North Korean is not like just enemy or something. Because we kind of.
I think the families would want to be united. The people would want to be united.
I personally want to be united with them.
Of course.
So,
I think the world wants you to be.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's really stupid.
The technology that comes out of both countries is in medical devices. So I was in the medical field before I am now, and the medical devices we used to buy from South Korea is far superior to what we get anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Even in like Welch Allyn, Medtronic. I mean, a lot of that is developed in South Korea.
Korea is more like technology.
Yeah.
Related country. So, but we will see. But nevertheless, I know you have a controversial opinion about the Trump, but South Korean think that it's a really good chance that we can do something to solve our problem by using Mr. Trump.
Yeah, well, he wants to talk. He's talking.
Yeah, he want to be a peacemaker or something like that.
Yeah.
I think he want to become peacemaker more.
When he met with Obama and they talked about North Korea,
Yeah.
Trump looked at Obama and asked him, well, has anybody ever talked to the guy?
I think Obama didn't care much. So Obama was more for supporting Japan's opinion. But Japan in the Asian country, Japan like to have a conflict because that can make they
Because they have technology as well.
at the moment Japan cannot have the military or army because of the Second World War. But if there is some kind of conflict or some dangerous situation in Asia, then it can justify them to build the army.
Military-industrial complex.
So Japan very strongly won the both Korea separated. So and then Japan also do a lot of lobbying and everything to U.S. So and then especially the former government the Bush or the Obama, they are more listening the Japanese opinion. So that's why they didn't do much about the North and South Korean at all. So, but he's a kind of exceptional people.
Yeah, I think that
Trump's more of a. I think he just sees it from a business aspect.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That is the point. That is
dangerous words. What are the most dangerous words?
that is really the point. That is the niche point. We think it's a good chance to make something better
Yep.
now.
See, the thing is, he's not about all the political stuff. He's just like, here's how it's going to be. We can make a deal, or we're not going to make a deal.
Exactly.
Either way, it's fine with me because
exactly.
we're
This
America,
deal
and that's just
help
how it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. This deal help him or not or something like he always making the calculation, right?
Yep.
So yeah, but I mean he's a
Well, he did write the book, The Art of the Deal.
yeah, I know that.
And yeah, if you ever read it, it's,
It's the art.
yeah.
The best tactic he does is, we can't make a deal, and walks away.
Well, thank you.
He's not afraid to walk away.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Every
Picture next to
politician
him.
thinks they have to
Sure.
come out with a deal.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
exactly.
thank you all very much for your
Yeah,
time.
thank you.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Badass, Uncle Sam. Here.
Yes.
Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton for you.
Appreciate
It was nice.
Good for any crime in the world.
Sujan?
Yeah,
I'm TJ. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. I appreciate this. When I saw InfoWars, I had to come stop.
Oh, great. Great.
No, Kunsan? Kunsan.
Kunsan. Ah, okay.
I lived there for 2 years. I loved it. People are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But now
Great
actually
time.
I live in Switzerland for 12 years.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like a permanent resident in South.
Really? How do you like it?
Switzerland is beautiful.
Yeah.
But I also love my home country.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Busan.
Okay.
You know
I do.
Yeah, the harbor city. But I studied in Seoul mainly, so then I
man, the myth, the legend.
Very nice. Very nice.
now I kind of settled in.
When I was there, how long has it been since you've been back?
Been back to South Korea?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah, used, but
Oh, you're not. When was the last time you were there? You were young?
You mean just visiting or visiting was some last year December?
So when I was there, they used to protest the GIs.
The protest for the
Well, I asked them what it was for, and they told us it because the jets were
2
too
years
loud.
ago. 2 years ago.
No, I was there in 2000,
we always
1999.
we always do protest. So
Yeah.
many protests.
Well, they were doing protests because they wanted the jets to stop flying.
Ah,
But the older people, that was the younger ones like you, but the older people wanted us there because we spend our money there.
okay.
So I loved it. It was amazing. I wish I could go back.
We always protest, and then we even put our two president, put him in jail, and
Really?
yeah, and also how you say you quit the how you say you kick the president out of the what is the
Yeah, impeach him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we impeached the former
Nice.
president.
Wow, that's impressive. The people did it.
We did it very peacefully. There was
Yeah.
no violence, and we really.
See, that's the contrast between the North and the South Korea. I mean, you can't get any different. You know.
But North Korea still have. I think. I mean, I don't agree with their North Korean
Of course not.
But still, I mean, I feel really kind of sad about the normal people there.
Of course.
Because they are losing.
They're gonna reunite.
Starving to death.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. They are good people, and
Yeah, I mean, everybody's hoping that this works out because, I mean, anything that will increase a better living for the people of North Korea
yeah, sure.
is going to be good for everybody. And at least we're talking now. He's not lobbing bombs over, and
Yeah,
there's not a lot of antagonistic talk going on right now. He did,
yeah.
He did meet with Putin just recently too.
Yeah, he met 2 weeks ago or something. He went
Yeah.
because the Trump somehow the left during the talk. In,
Yeah, the last meeting he walked out on.
Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
It was Vietnam, right? So because at that time he was his own, how you say it, the Michael Cohen declaration or something.
Oh, his lawyer?
Yeah, the lawyer. It was basically same day when he was in the Vietnam, and then Michael
So you
Cohen-
know that our country does that on purpose. They set things up where he can't rebut.
I don't know. Yeah.
So they'll like in the Obama administration, they will come out with laws and executive orders
Yeah.
Friday night at midnight on a holiday, so nobody knows it's happening. And it has happened many times. But if Trump was to do that, the media would just have a field day and go crazy about it. So they schedule this stuff just like they did with what's his name, Barr. doing all these new, or the new Attorney General, they're getting ready to we're trying to impeach him and put him in jail, contempt of court, because he won't send out all of these, what do you call that report, Mueller report. But he's putting out everything he can.
But the U.S. is a bit difficult to impeach president, no?
It can't happen. It'll never happen.
It ever happened or it never
So what,
happened?
the whole thing about the impeachment thing,
Yeah.
it did happen.
It
They
did
impeached
happen.
Bill Clinton, but they won't do it now, or they can't do it now. All this is theater, is to make a show of what's going on. So maybe more people won't vote for Donald Trump in 2020. That's all it's about. And if anybody says it's anything different, they're crazy.
But today, the Democratic Party,
Democratic Party.
the Democratic Party has a strong candidate.
No,
They don't have
20.
The one.
They got 20 terrible ones.
Indeed.
I know Elizabeth Warren, and then the other guy,
They're
the
horrible.
one.
No, they're horrible. Let's say
What
the-
was their name?
if-
the
Kamala Harris, the
No.
black woman.
I know Kamala Harris, but the other, the man, the
Biden.
Oh,
No.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie-
What do you
no.
think about Bernie Sanders?
No.
He's extreme right, right, left.
Way left. He's
Way
socialist.
Yeah,
Communist.
he might as well be Kim Jong Un.
Really? But he sounds, whatever he sounds, it sounds okay, but I don't know.
Well, socialism sings a siren song. It tells you lies that you would like to believe.
Are you listening to all
I see.
this?
Yeah.
So, it's a siren song. I mean, when you say, it's free.
It's
It's
only
free.
kind
You
of
can have free
attracting, like,
college.
younger
You can
people.
have free this. You
Younger
can have,
generation.
yeah, so
Is that-
younger generation that don't know about life, that sounds good to them.
Ah, okay,
Oh, we
okay.
can go ahead and
Yeah,
get
it makes
things
sense.
free. The rich will pay for everything.
Okay. Yeah,
And and so it's a siren song.
I see.
So they listen to that lie. You have to remember. I'm going to give you Politics 101 America.
I see. What about Joe Biden?
No,
I would never.
no. I'm going to give you Politics 101
Yeah.
America. Trump wasn't even supposed to be there.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
There were two candidates that were supposed to be there, Clinton and Bush. Both of them are the same thing.
Yeah, somehow, yeah.
They're the same thing. We have an establishment here, or better known as the deep state now,
Deep state, yeah.
that wants to keep, and that's the crony capitalism. That's the corrupt capitalism
Basically, they want to keep their own.
thank you.
State, right.
They-
Ruling class.
Yeah,
Ruling class.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
in this country, we don't have rulers. We don't have leaders. We have people who.
Whole families. Like
Well,
the
what,
rich families.
they call them the rulers, the leading class. We don't have leaders. We have representatives. You are supposed to speak for me because I can't get in front of Congress to speak. You are not in charge of me. You speak for me. That's all.
But they think differently.
Yes,
right? That is-
absolutely.
that-
They think
I think,
they're-
I think that people kind of sense from Hillary Clinton that she is kind of this, like that she.
Ugh.
I mean, even I'm a woman, but I don't like her. I mean, because usually women try to
Yeah,
more
yeah.
support the female, the politician and so on.
Nobody liked
But
her.
somehow she doesn't represent even women and also not for just ordinary people, right? Because
She was part of that ruling class. He came in and upset it. He spoke to people. If I had a nickel for every time I heard this statement, he talks like I think. I'd be as rich as Donald Trump. He spoke to the people.
he's not, right? He's just like very.
Well, he goes out. I mean, I've spoken to people that work for him. He'll go out to the grounds and speak to the groundskeepers, the guys who dig in the dirt, and he'll walk up to the foreman and he'll go, "You're doing a great job. Here's a bunch of money. Pass out amongst the workers." So he'll go
He
to the
treats
hard
everybody
hats.
the same.
He treats everybody.
He
the same.
treats
Right.
people like human beings.
Okay.
He doesn't feel he's above. Like I don't have to talk to you. You're the guy who just scrapes the gum off.
Yeah, this kind
You
of
know-
snobbish people, right?
Right.
So he resonated with the people that way, and that's why the people put him in. Now you have the establishment, which is the media, which is the bureaucracy, military-industrial complex, the bureaucrats that are fighting against him because he threatens
Yeah, exactly.
them.
He threatened their
Yeah.
kind of authority, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They have been built
Make a lot of money.
for
Exactly.
years, right?
Yes, exactly. exactly.
I follow the Donald Trump and
You follow it a lot better than a lot of Americans do, I'll tell you.
So
and then
weapons.
I mean, in the beginning was so funny because I just couldn't believe. In the beginning, I couldn't believe that how president say something like that in public. But now I kind of like his tweet.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, I love the way he's upset the apple cart. Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton
Thank
for
you.
you.
You might need this, not me.
Yeah, it was
Nice meeting you. What's your name?
Sujong.
Sujong, I'm Bill.
Bill.
Yep,
It
my
was
daughter
nice.
Phoenix.
Hey.
Phoenix, listen to this man, will you?
Always teaching her. Guns, good or bad? Good. Girl. See you guys. Nice talking to you.
All right. That is a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton, which is good anywhere in the world, including North and South Korea and Switzerland.
But it's all somehow a consequence of all the capitalism, right? In the end, it's all just. I feel the more I grow up, the more I feel like the real thing, the real power drive whole world is basically the money.
Oh, sure.
That's I somehow feel kind of pity about this.
Well,
In
yes,
the end, just
if it's
money driving everything.
yeah, but if it's put in the right perspective, in other words, it's nice. Money does, indeed make the wheels go around, but you can't make it the thing. You can't make it the God, as it were. You can't make it the one thing. You have to be guided by principles. You have to be guided by gods. The God. You have to be guided by a better, higher being. Money's just a tool. Money is just a tool that we use to go ahead and make our lives better. Buy food, buy shelter, provide for the family. That's what we look at. If you start looking at it just as acquisition of something to get, then that's where it goes off the rails. So we got to have that perspective. You got to have it twofold. You got to be able to keep yourself spiritually in line with God, and then understand that we are living in a material world, and so you deal with the material things that we have around us, and don't let them get the better of you. Keep that perspective, which I think they've done quite well in South Korea. I think they've done well with that.
I think they are. Because I'm outside of my country, so when I see South Korea from outside, I think they are doing well. I think they are kind of progressing, which is really nice. But people inside of South Korea, they still see because we are always want to work better, want to work harder, and so on. So they always something is missing. So that's why maybe not fully satisfied.
Well, indeed, there is that aspect of working too much.
Yeah, I think this is. They work too much.
Yeah, every now and then we got to slow down and kind of enjoy the fruits of your labor. But that's what's given made South Korea prosper so much is the work ethic. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's very.
And I think it's, again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never been there. But it seems to me all through Asia, as it were, in any sense, but probably more so in Korea than anywhere else, where it's ingrained at a very early age to work, that to educate and to work.
Yeah, we are really pour a lot of money and energy for education. So everybody basically is so obsessed by the education, higher degrees, study better. So 85% of people have a university degree.
Yes.
85% of the population.
That's how I've understood and everything about it. It's like going to the highest education levels, highest productivity levels.
But work too much and so much stress.
Well, that's it. On the opposite end, you ought to learn now to just kind of slow up and kind of enjoy a bit of your,
This is still, people are not so used to it,
Yeah.
They are not used to relax, and they always feel like, even myself, now I have let's say I have a vacation, I always bring things to work a bit, reading, I just cannot be just completely, relaxed because
it's in your nature.
My upbringing was always like study, work hard, and blah blah blah. So it's kind kind of pity. But now I'm a bit away from my home country, so I now
Yeah, it's going to rub
I
off.
learn,
You're
you
going to
know,
start,
I
you know,
now
because you're
learn, like-
living outside of it. You're going
to see things a bit differently.
Yeah.
So I know I learn different way of living, and
Yes.
you know. But still, most of my friends and my brother and sister, they are like just like working. So
change comes not all,
easily, yeah.
it's gradually.
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
gradually.
yeah.
So these things will
Oh,
happen.
what's your name, sir?
Badass Uncle Sam.
Thank you so much. It was so pleasure.
Oh,
talking to you.
it's been my pleasure. Thank you
Yeah,
so much
thank
for
you,
your
thank you.
conversation.
It would be really good memory in New Orleans.
Well, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Go to my YouTube channel, and this entire conversation will be on it.
Nice. Good job, by the way. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
How was it? Was that worth your time? I couldn't edit anything out of this to shorten it up because it was all good. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, subscribe, and go get yourself something. Till the next time, we'll see you on the streets.